You want me to put that on my Tudor?
Archie's birth certificate. Hello, I'm H.G. Tudor. There has been plenty of speculation about the provenance of the births of Archie and Lilibet. He said to have been born in the United Kingdom, she said to be born in the United States. There are many people who do not accept that Harry's wife was pregnant with either child, and that either child actors have been used, or, more plausibly, they were born by surrogacy. It has, of course, been necessary for Harry's wife, if it is the case that they've been born by surrogacy, to maintain the artifice that she gave birth to them to ensure that they are within the line of succession. Remember, the children are simply little mirrors, devices for her to utilize to her own ends, and by having them as in the line of succession, that increases their worth to her. She believes that she loves her children. Her narcissism causes her to believe that for the purposes of the maintenance of the facade and causing her to behave in a particular way. However, she is, of course, governed by the pursuit of the prime aims. It would be entirely conceivable for a narcissist to either not have given birth to the children at all and potentially use child actors, although as I've explained previously, I find that unlikely to have occurred just given the difficulties that surround keeping that quiet. However, the possibility of surrogacy is far more likely, given, of course, the various strange occurrences that occurred with the moon bump, the fact that the way that she moved meant that it seemed rather odd that she was able to squat in the way that she did when she was supposedly heavily pregnant, the way that her stomach seemed to change in size and shape, which suggests that a moon bump was being used, and therefore a huge number of theories have been put forward, with various analyses having been undertaken. This has also led to scrutiny with regard to the birth certificates, and an article in something called Cafe Mum explains sometimes royal rules are meant to be broken. In a move being hailed as unprecedented, Harry's wife's name was changed on son Archie's birth certificate. It doesn't say what it did the day that he was born. Could this be something to do with Harry and Harry's wife's royal exit? The Sun reported that Harry's wife's first names, R. Harry's wife and M. Harry's wife, were removed and replaced with Her Royal Highness the Duchess of Sussex. Some believe that the move could have been a snub to Prince William and Princess Kate Middleton, because Kate's names were used on the birth certificates of her 3 children. It, of course, would not be a surprise for Harry's wife to triangulate utilizing a birth certificate. She is that petty and low-minded. It's also claimed that it could have been seen as a way to align Harry's wife with Harry's late mother, Diana, who always used the title Her Royal Highness the Princess of Wales. Accordingly, the suggestion that Harry's wife utilised Her Royal Highness the Duchess of Sussex to try and align herself with Diana would also have some credibility. We know, and as you have seen from parts passing, that Harry's wife looks to channel the spirit of Diana, both in terms of believing that she's similar to her by virtue of fame, looks, good grace and empathy, although she's nowhere close to the way that Diana, Princess of Wales, was, but also as a means of manipulating Harry. By using the vulnerability and affection that he has for his late mother, this allows Harry's wife to control him, and therefore, showing a lack of boundary recognition and a sense of entitlement. It would not be a surprise to learn that Harry's wife has done this because she wants to align herself with the late Princess of Wales. The article continues by explaining Archie, who was born Archie Harrison Mountbatten Windsor, was born on May 6, 2019. His birth was registered days later on May 17th. The name change happened about a month after Archie's birth on June the 6th. Harry's wife and Harry didn't comment directly on the report of the change, But royal reporter, the improbably named plastic-faced Lieutenant Omid Scobie, shared a statement from a spokesperson for Harry's wife via Twitter. The statement claims that the name change on the birth certificate was dictated by the palace and not requested by Harry's wife, the Duchess of Sussex, nor the Duke of Sussex. Blame shifting. It went on to say the assumption that Harry's wife would want to be nameless on her child's birth certificate would be laughable were it not offensive. The change is a questionable one. The change on the birth certificate was made mere months before Harry's wife and Harry left the royal family, which led to speculation about why it was made. Dickie Arbiter, ex-press secretary for the late Queen Elizabeth, told The Sun that this could have been the earliest sign of them setting the plans for their exit into motion. Meanwhile, Lady Colin Campbell, the person who spotted the change, noted it is extraordinary and raises all kinds of questions about what the Sussexes were thinking. Some speculate that the change was made so they could distance themselves from other royals. Royal experts chose to position the move as the couple's way of distancing themselves from the Duke and Duchess of Wales. There's no such title. I think this writer means the Prince and Princess of Wales. For a royal to change a birth certificate is unprecedented, but to remove forenames is remarkable, royal expert Ingrid Seward told The Sun. Well, it's not really a surprise, though, when it comes to Harry's wife, is it? Because of the entitled way by which she functions, and the way that she believes she can do what she wants, and the absence of accountability that she exhibits. Making such a change is entirely understandable by her. Daughter Lilibet's birth certificate also uses different names, but that's because she was born in the United States. Her birth certificate lists Prince Harry as the Duke of Sussex's Royal Highness, whilst Harry's wife is listed by her full name, RMM, Harry's wife. The difference is because the US requires the mother's maiden name and the father's legal name. Thus, these alterations that have taken place is unsurprising with Harry's wife because of her need to do things differently, because she won't follow convention. Some will say, well, good for her, but it's not born out of any sort of independent spirit, or certainly isn't anything to do with her being a strong independent feminist, but is all about her nullifying threats to control. That it's being done for the purposes of ensuring such a change to draw attention to herself and to cock a snook elsewhere. What are the views of those below the line in relation to this? Well, Linda Bennett states Harry's wife is not royal. JC explains the important thing is no one cares. Jennifer Harris opines after the DNA results come back, her name will be removed permanently from his birth certificate. Karen M., the Californian birth certificate should have Harry's name, not his titles, which are not his legal name. The titles would appear as his occupation, and she explains that because she used to be a birth certificate clerk in California. Victoria Schlouch says, I looked it up. She erased her name from his birth certificate. Therefore, the suggestion that it was the palace is indeed blame shifting. Once again, Harry's wife behaving in an entitled fashion without accountability, and this time looking to triangulate people with a birth certificate, of all things. I'm H.G. Tudor. Thank you for listening.